It was a Sunday in early October, one of those rare autumn days that feels like it's holding its breath before the cold comes. Crisp air, yellow leaves, the smell of funnel cake and engine grease at the local flea market. I wasn't looking for anything in particular, just killing time before my shift at the bookstore, wandering between folding tables and faded tents. That's when I saw it. A framed black and white photograph lying under a pile of vintage records. 8 people, formal clothing, standing in front of a brick wall like a school photo from the 1940s, all looking straight into the lens. The old man at the table didn't even remember putting it out. He sold it to me for $3. I took it home, wiped the glass clean, and set it on my bookshelf. Didn't think much of it at first, but that night, something felt off. I walked past the shelf around 2 a.m. to get water. The photo caught my eye. One of the people was different. A man in the back row, third from the right. His head was turned slightly, as if caught mid-glance. I could have sworn he'd been looking straight ahead when I bought it. Must have been my imagination. I went back to bed. 3 days later, I decided to take a photo of the photograph. Polaroid, old school. Just wanted to compare it later, see if I was imagining things. I taped the Polaroid beside the frame. The next morning I walked by the shelf and stopped cold. The frame photograph now had 9 people in it. The Polaroid? Still 8. Someone new had joined the group. A boy, mid-teens, standing at the far left. He hadn't been there before. That week something even stranger happened. I noticed one of the faces in the photo looked familiar. I kept staring at the new boy in the left corner. His features were sharper than the rest, almost recent, like the photo had aged differently around him. He looked like Kevin from IT, the guy I made coffee runs with twice a week. I took the photo to work. Kevin blinked at it, then went pale. "Where did you get this?" That's me. But I've never taken a photo like that. The next day, Kevin didn't show up. The day after, we got the news. Single car accident, died on impact. I started watching the photo like a hawk, kept a daily log, snapping pictures with my phone. I printed every version. It was always changing, slowly. Sometimes the clothes would shift. A hand would rise, then another new face. Next was Mrs. Kent, the woman who lived across the street. She helped me bring in groceries sometimes. She was smiling in the picture. She died the next week, slipped and fell in her tub. I inspected the frame. Old wood. Nail scratches on the back like someone had tried to pry it open. Behind the cardboard, etched into the wood, EM 1947. I Googled every combination of those initials. Found nothing. But when I posted the photo on a vintage forum, someone responded within hours. "Don't keep that. It's part of the Moore collection. Burn it." I messaged back, but the account was deleted. Later that week, I checked the photo again. Another new person had appeared. A woman this time, late 40s. I recognized her. I posted the photo on a vintage photography forum. A few hours later, someone responded anonymously. "This photo is part of the Moore collection. Destroy it immediately." She was the barista from the coffee shop I passed every morning. She wasn't smiling. None of them were. 2 days later, I passed the coffee shop again. Closed. Police tape over the door. News said the woman had gone missing. I searched through archives. Finally found it. A 1947 newspaper article about a fire. The Moore mortuary. 8 people died. The original 8. I brought the photo to a psychic, thinking maybe they could tell me more. As soon as she saw it, her face drained of color. "You need to leave. That thing feeds on memory, on presence." The grocery store clerk I chatted with every week. He was in the photo now, at the far right, eyes open wide in fear. I set up an audio recorder near the photo overnight. The playback made my skin crawl. Voices whispering. Names. One of them was mind-tried, burning a print of the photo. The flames sputtered unnaturally. Smoke rose black and thick, but the original photo remained untouched. Kevin's funeral was quiet. I held the photo under my coat the whole time, as if to shield the others from it. The next morning, I opened the fridge. The photo was inside, frost-covered glass. I hadn't put it there. I set up a time-lapse camera, recorded the photo overnight again. When I played it back, the people moved, slowly, deliberately dreamed of digging, my hands clawing dirt, a graveyard. Every face from the photo stood in a circle, watching, a knock on the window. I looked out and saw him, one of the faces, smiling, pale. Inside the ruins of the Moore house, I found a scorched journal beneath the floorboards. Pages intact. It belonged to Elias Moore. The pages talked about a camera, one that didn't just capture light, it captured life, and something else. The photograph now held over 20 people, all staring forward. Some looked afraid, others grinned. One space in the frame was still empty, a perfect gap, waiting. I set the camera, lined up the shot. A timer blinked red. I stood where the gap was. When I reviewed the image, there were two of me, one smiling, one not. I smashed the photo. The glass exploded, but the figures moved. For the first time, they moved. I recorded a message, one last try. Static filled the room as I spoke into the recorder. I looked out my window. They were all there, every one of them, waiting. I returned to the flea market, left the photo on another table, watched someone else reach for it. The last time I saw it, the photo was full, every face staring out, including mine. I laid out every version of the photo, from the first to the last, proof or a warning. Other cursed photos exist. You've probably seen them online. Ghostly children, unknown faces, things that shouldn't be there. If you ever see a photo like this, don't look too long. Don't stare. It sees you too. For this story's thumbnail, show the photo with one blank face, like someone has vanished. The photo sits quietly now, framed again, on someone else's shelf.